Today we're going to be installing our G9 devices in our 2019 F250. It should work with every 2017 and up F250. So of course we have our reader, our speaker, right here, our wiring harness, and the actual G9 device here. Let's go ahead and unbox everything, or unbag everything. Each of these are going to come with a mounting bracket, zip tie. Let's kind of set the paperwork to the side for now. Same here, it's going to come with a zip tie and the bracket. And the device. The wiring harness is going to come with our clips, our mounting bracket with various different brackets for each make and model, and our pigtail harness. Alright, so first thing we're going to do, go ahead and start assembling the dash. This part here just pulls down. You can kind of reach around from the bottom here. It pulls down from the top on each side. Take your 10mm. There's 4 bolts. Just lift this out of the way. And usually what I do is kind of stick this up a little bit. Then you have 2 8mm hex nuts to hold on your OBD port down here. You got 1 on each side. And just pull that out of the way and let it hang for now. Pull this down. So first thing I want to do is go ahead and open up your brackets here and find which bracket you need. For these, it's going to be a number 2. It actually comes here with a list of all your brackets. Shows you what's for what. And grab our clips and our wiring harness. You're gonna find the 2-sided here. And this will only go on one side. Make sure you place it facing this way. You can see the holes towards the back and the top. And it should slide into where you can see that little slit right there. And those are what your clips are going to actually go into. So you grab 2 clips. They come with 4 and a removal tool, so you can use these a couple times. So it just kind of slides into that groove there. Alright. Next, we'll go ahead and assemble our device. Be careful with that. Always cut away from yourself. Here we'll pull out our sticker, set that to the side. And we have our G9 device with our zip tie. What I like to do is go ahead and assemble these outside of the vehicle. Just makes it a little bit easier. We'll just cut our connectors holding these together. Now on each one of these you can see that it gives you a spot to piggyback these into each other. I always like to pull the one out of the reader here, so cut this zip tie. Pull out the plug. Now install your speaker wire into the reader. Now we use one of these zip ties these came with. Just give it security in here. Use that right there on your connection. It just has to be snug, not too tight, or you'll damage anything and cut off your access. Alright, we'll get our G9 unit. Find your other connection from your reader and do the same thing. plug it in. Then run your zip tie for security. Oops. There we go. Not too tight, just snug. Cut off your excess here too. Then what I like to do is go ahead and take your wiring harness, and it just plugs in. And then run a zip tie around the whole thing just so you know it's tight. So run from front to back like so. So that's just to avoid any type of loose connections. Make sure you know it's tight, it's not going anywhere. And cut the excess. Now we'll go ahead and start installing this. We're going to take our piece of foam, which is a 1 inch by 3 inch by 1/2 inch thickness. We're going to put it in this channel over here. Oh, actually, I'm jumping ahead of myself here. We're going to take our double-sided tape and actually place along the bottom part of this foam. Just press it on there, make sure it's good. And peel off the backing. Now we'll install this in our channel. I'm just going to go right here in this channel portion. It's as flat as you can get it within that channel. Something like so. For security, we'll take a couple zip ties in place on here. Just kind of one on the front, one on the back. Make sure it won't go anywhere. Just like that. Cut off the excess zip ties. Now is when we'll install our G9 device with some double-sided tape. So we're going to take the double-sided tape and put it along the bottom of the device. You're always going to want your label to face up. So we'll go ahead and place it just kind of along the bottom here. And cut here. There we go. Of course, peel off the backing. Always the fun part. There we go. Alright, now we're going to place this just right side up within this channel here. Like so. And place this on top of the styrofoam we just installed. And kind of give it a little press so it doesn't go anywhere. Alright. That'll give us a good base. Now we're going to go ahead and use our zip ties though just to secure this. So we'll do the same as we did on the styrofoam, one on the front and one on the back. And once we do this, of course, it'll allow the double-sided tape to really sit on and create a bond. So I'll make sure we're straight, which we are. I'll pull that one snug. I'll go ahead and go to the back of the device and do the same thing. And as you can see, that's not going anywhere. Go ahead and cut off the excess zip ties. We're gonna run our piggyback. Just kind of run it towards the back for now to get it out of the way. Let's see. And the one thing I like to go ahead and do while we're back here, go ahead and kind of put it up on your mount here. Pull this up from the bottom. So snap that in. Let's go ahead and mount this. Kind of keeps everything steady. Of course, you're going to take your two 8mm hex nuts here. Oh, wrong way. Get those snug. That'll work. Let's pull this down again. You're gonna lay your reader off to the right side. And then your speaker off to your left. Of course, just take all your excess wire, just kind of round it together and group it up the best you can here. About like so. All I'll do is throw a zip tie around this just to make it a little more manageable. Find a place to mount this down here. And actually give us some pretty good mounting portions right here. Oh, they're a little hard to see here. Right here is a pretty good little mounting plate. It's got several little holes that you can go ahead and wrap a zip tie through. And there we go. Get that just out of the way. Let's go ahead and cut off the excess. Alright, now before we move much further, let's go ahead and place our tamper-proof seal on these. Now, you don't need much. This just kind of shows these are the original zip ties that we installed. Let's start up here. And just kind of place a little dab on each zip tie. Like I said, this is just to prove that these are the zip ties that were installed by our technicians, just so we know that they're not being tampered with in any sort of way. Now, let's go ahead and connect our Go 9 device into our factory OBD cable. And we're going to install that. Now, it's different with G9s. You actually just plug that in and let it set instead of starting the unit. So while we finish up, this will be established connectivity. Connected. I like to run a zip tie through here too. Just find where you can get through some wiring so you don't damage anything. And go ahead and zip tie that up to your factory OBD port. So this will keep your connection tight. You know, you don't lose connectivity going down a lease road or anything of that nature. So you don't need this too tight. Just kind of snug it up. You don't want to damage any wiring or anything. And then same as before, we'll go ahead and put our tamper-proof seal on here. Just a little dab on here. And now finally zip tie this up and out of your way. So you can come through any of these holes for the factory OBD port. And the easiest place seems to put it is right here on this portion of the dash. Just keep it up out of the way so it doesn't create a safety issue. And it creates an ease of access whenever you need to get back in here and work on this. Let's see, we'll cut the excess up here. And all right, now we'll go ahead and install our plate. That sits into our channels down here. Line those up. Get our 10mm bolts. Of course, start installing loosely at first till you get to the final one. Then you'll start going back and snugging all of these up. Alright, now we're pretty much done with the dash, so we'll go ahead and snap this back into place. Now here's where we'll find our mounting brackets. This is where we'll use these. Now if you'll notice, the bracket for your reader is actually a little bit thinner than the bracket for your speaker. So let's make sure you don't get those mixed up. So go ahead and place our double-sided tape down on our speaker bracket. Just kind of line up your squares. Alright. Now these do come with screws. You may find that it's easier just to find some screws for yourself. Oops. Find some screws for yourself here. Like I have these 2 silver screws. And then you'll place this speaker on your left side. Let's see where my screw bit at. There we go. And once you get this placed kind of where you want it, go ahead and drill your holes into your dash. There we go. Go ahead and snug that side up, and we'll start on the other side. All right. Now we can place our speaker down in here.
4, 5.
And that just kind of clips into both sides there. All right. Then we'll do the same for our reader. Once I can find the screws that I dropped. There we go. Up here. Move stuff out of the way. All right. I'll take our double-sided tape that came in our reader and do the same thing. And place it in the square and peel the backing off. I have to find a corner that works best. Maybe. Good news is this is probably the hardest part of this process. There we go. And let's place this on our dash where we want it. Right about there, right about center on this side. And the same thing over here. Go ahead and install your screws. We'll go ahead and place our reader in our clip. And that's it. You've finished the installation for the G9 devices. The F-150s are a similar setup, but this is basically how you install on a 2017 and up F-250. And we'll let it set for about 5 minutes and be good to go. Thank you.